Central New York holds one of the top college volleyball coaches the country has ever seen. Joan Sitterly of SUNY Cortland, for 22 years, led the Red Dragons to a staggering 816 victories, and upon retirement became only the second coach in NCAA Division III history to reach the 800-win plateau. Her squad participated in the NCAA tournament in 18 of her last 20 seasons while capturing 13 conference titles. The Fairport, New York native took home AVCA Region Coach of the Year honors 7 times before being appointed the full-time position of Athletics Director, where she oversaw an athletics juggernaut that ranked among the best in the country. Cortland ranked in the top 20 of the NACDA Cup standings each of the past 14 years. She retired in 2010 and was inducted into the SUNY Cortland Athletics Hall of Fame that same year. Sitterly established her track record of success prior to her college days. She was the head volleyball and basketball coach at Newark High School in New York from 1974 to 1983. Her volleyball squad won 5 Finger Lakes Leagues and a Western New York Championship. Said SUNY New Paltz head women's volleyball coach Matt Joffrey, Joan's leadership and mentorship paved the way for many of her former students and assistant coaches in their pursuit of coaching as a career. As our role model, Joan demonstrated what true professionalism, work ethic, and pursuit of greatness is all about. The AVCA salutes Joan Sitterly.
Thank you very much. I do realize I'm all that's standing between you and lunch right now, so thank you. And really, this is an incredible honor. How many of you in the room are currently coaching? Put your hands up. Let's see. I just want you to know that you have chosen the greatest and most rewarding profession that I know of. You get paid to work with gifted athletes who have a passion to learn and improve. You get to take individuals and mold them into cohesive units, seeing the immediate fruits of your labor. And you get to help facilitate the growth of young people into mature, appreciative adults. This is not to say that it's easy work. In fact, it becomes your way of life. The hours are long, the pay is low, the challenges are high, and the dramatic emotional swings abundant. But in spite of it all, coaching is the greatest profession one can be associated with. While I enjoyed the challenges of the X's and O's, it paled in comparison to the challenge of getting 6 players to work together, to communicate in a very confined space, and above all, to play at or higher than their ability level. I became a volleyball coach because my first job as a high school physical education teacher carried with it the coaching of volleyball and basketball. Well, basketball was my main sport, but being naive, I thought, who can't coach volleyball? I can do that. Well, I started reading and went to clinics and began learning all that I didn't know about coaching volleyball. And I never stopped learning until that day, 32 years later, that I hung up the whistle and the clipboard. My high school years were pre-Title IX, without an association with sports or coaches. It wasn't until I went to college that Title IX gave me my first opportunity to participate in athletics. With teams that were coached by women who also never had any association with sports or athletics and were essentially supervisors. So I never had a mentor or a role model to learn from, and developed my coaching style from watching men coach men's sports and putting it together with my limited playing experience and my physical education background. I did vow at that time to give my student athletes the opportunity to be coached by a woman and to serve as a mentor and a role model. I did that for 32 years and never regretted a day in either of those roles. In fact, I never gauged my success as a coach by the wins and losses, but by the number of graduated players that gave back to the sport by either coaching, officiating, or even just continuing to play the game. Working at a state university in upstate New York, I was far from the hotbed of women's volleyball. During those years, we did not have the same quality volleyball skilled athlete as the Midwest or California. Since we were not going to beat the opponent with our superior volleyball skill, the importance of physical conditioning and, even more importantly, the ability to work as a team became our trademark. It took more than one individual to build this winning program, and I would be remiss in accepting all of the credit. Surrounding yourself with the right people is first and foremost. Because coaching is not only a way of life, it was my life. My husband had to buy into that, and I thank Gary, who's with me here today, for his unconditional support and his never-ending advice. Although I have to admit, not always immediately appreciated. The greatest lesson he taught me was not to put Juniata College, coached by Larry Bach, on my schedule anymore, since we beat them only once in my 24 years. That's 19 losses I could have avoided. I chose assistant coaches who were players well-versed in the skills of volleyball, as they complemented my strength in team building, motivation, and kinesiology. I had great assistants over the years who were loyal, supportive, and committed to the program. I'm proud to say that many have become head coaches at colleges across the state. My recruiting consisted of not only skill evaluation, but an evaluation of a recruit's ability to work as an integral part of a team and their capacity to be a good person. I've been associated with players who are quality human beings, and I'm proud they selected Cortland and were part of the Red Dragon volleyball family. I also passed up on players who were tremendous volleyball players, but had a cancer to a program regardless of their ability to put tallies in a win column. I also believe being part of the inner workings of NCAA Division III volleyball by being on committees such as the NCAA Championships Committee, the AVCA All-America Committee, the NCAA Rules Committees, and regional committees, as well as many others, helped me to understand what I needed to do to advance my team well into the NCAA Championship Tournament. I would highly recommend to all of you to be involved with these committees to give you a better understanding of the intricacies of the sport. Volleyball is a game of ups and downs, emotional highs and lows, through a point, a set, or a match. But in the end, when the dust is settled, it is one of the most exciting games to be a part of. My advice for those active coaches in the room: love what you do what you love, for as long as you love it. I'd like to thank Kathy DeVore and the AVCA and the selection committee for this honor and the wonderful luncheon. I'm extremely humbled to be inducted into this prestigious Hall of Fame, and thank you all for sharing this memorable day with both myself and my fellow inductees. Thank you very much.